Tonight, I invite you into a world where dreams spill onto canvas and whispers of inspiration drift through the quiet hours. As the world slows and the stars take their place, let your mind wander through the soft strokes of imagination. Close your eyes, settle in, and let the story paint itself in the quiet corners of your thoughts. This is Midnight's Canvas, the path to dawn, a gentle tale for dreamers, creators, and restless souls searching for light in the dark. In the heart of the bustling city, where the endless hum of traffic and the perpetual glow of neon lights never faded, I found a sanctuary untouched by the urban frenzy. This sanctuary was a quaint park that housed a peculiar statue of a man, his face a clock forever frozen at midnight. Although many locals rush past it every day, absorbed in their own worlds, few ever stopped to wonder about its origins or the magic it might hold. Surrounded by the whispering trees of the park, the statue was both a guardian and a mystery. Legend had it that the sculptor was an old clockmaker who, in the twilight of his years, had turned his skilled hands and heartfelt passion to stone instead of gears. He was said to be a man of profound loneliness, his life dedicated to the meticulous crafting of timepieces. Yet, he yearned for a moment when time itself could stand still, capturing the beauty of the world as he saw it. In his quest, he poured his dreams and his sorrows into his final masterpiece, the statue of a man whose face was a clock, forever frozen at midnight. It was believed that at the stroke of midnight, the boundary between the tangible and ethereal thinned, and the clockmaker wished to offer a bridge to those who sought to glimpse beyond. The statue, therefore, was not just a tribute to time, but a portal to understanding one's deepest desires and crossroads in life. Upon his death, the clockmaker's statue was placed in the park, a testament to his legacy, where it remained largely unnoticed by the hurried world, its magic lying dormant, waiting for the right seeker. This mystical creation stood as a silent observer, witnessing the ebb and flow of the city's heartbeat. Yet, it held within it the clockmaker's final wish to offer others the clarity and the courage he found only at the end of his own time. Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. I am Elena, a graphics designer by day, a passionate painter by night, often seeking refuge in the serenity of this park. Despite my creative spirit, I was caught in a cycle of doubt, my dreams of painting full-time dimming like dusk. From my earliest memories, art had been my sanctuary. As a child, I would lose myself for hours in my grandmother's attic, surrounded by jars of paint, old brushes, and canvases that smelled of age and possibility. There, beneath a roof where time seemed to stand still, I dreamed of a life where my art could be everything. As I grew older, reality began to impose its harsh outlines on my dream. The need for a stable job, the fear of failing, the echo of well-meaning advice telling me to be practical. All these slowly painted over the vibrant dreams of my youth. Using graphic design was a compromise, a way to keep my hand in art without letting go of the safety net. Yet, with every year that passed, the part of me that yearned to paint, to create without constraints, felt more like a distant memory, a path not taken. One night, as the real world's clock struck midnight and twilight enveloped the park, a gentle luminescence began to emanate from the statue. Driven by a mix of curiosity and a slight fear, I approached. To my astonishment, the statue spoke to me in a voice as smooth as polished marble, tinged with an otherworldly echo. Seeker of dreams, what chains of doubt bind you? Startled, I found myself opening up to the statue, sharing my dreams, my fears, and the crossroads at which I stood. My words flowed more freely than I anticipated, a mix of hesitance and hope coloring my voice. You stand at a precipice, the statue said, his clock hands moving for the first time in memory. But fear not, for I shall show you the path that may lie ahead. With those words, the park around me transformed. Suddenly, I was standing in a gallery, surrounded by my art, vibrant canvases that were windows into my soul. The air buzzed with the murmurs of visitors, their words weaving a tapestry of admiration and awe. A surge of pride and joy, unlike anything I'd felt in years, filled my heart. This joy sharply contrasted with the next vision, a dimly lit office where my art supplies lay abandoned, smothered by dust and regret. This office, a symbol of a life where security overshadowed creativity, made my spirit wince. As the park returned to its usual state, the statue whispered, "The future is malleable, shaped by the choices you make. Every second is an opportunity to tread a new path." With my mind in a whirlwind of emotion and revelation, I stepped back. The visions presented a stark choice between the fulfillment of my dreams and the regret of unexplored potential. Fueled by the glimpse into what could be, I chose to embrace my art. I began dedicating myself to painting with renewed vigor, each stroke on the canvas a step closer to the dream I yearned to live. I faced challenges, of course, but the memory of the gallery in my vision, my gallery, propelled me forward. Months later, I held my first exhibit, not in a grand gallery, but in a cozy local cafe. It was a modest beginning, yet the warmth and genuine appreciation in the eyes of those who viewed my work were monumental. With each piece sold, I felt an inch closer to the life I had imagined. The exhibit at the cozy local cafe was just a beginning. With each piece that found a new home, a piece of my heart went with it, fueling a fire I thought had dimmed long ago. The words of encouragement, the shared looks of understanding, the silent nods of appreciation, they all wove into a tapestry of affirmation, a visible, tangible sign that I was on the right path. In the months that followed, my life underwent a transformation as vivid and profound as the colors on my canvas. I began to receive commissions, small at first, then steadily more ambitious and public. A mural for a local bookstore, a series of portraits for a new gallery opening, even an invitation to collaborate with a group of street artists on a project that would span the entire side of a downtown building. My art was no longer confined to the corners of my apartment or the pages of my sketchbook. It was out in the world, breathing life into spaces that had longed for color. The doubts that once clouded my thoughts, the fears that whispered of security and practicality had not vanished entirely, but they had been relegated to the background, their voices drowned out by the rush of my brush on canvas. The thrill of seeking my visions come to life. The statue in the park, my midnight confidant, had sparked a courage within me I didn't know I possessed. It reminded me that the path to one's dreams isn't paved with certainties, but with choices. Choices that are as much about the journey as they are about the destination. Now, I balance my days between freelance graphics design and my true passion, painting. This dual life is not a compromise, but a symphony of my skills and desires, each aspect enriching the other. The evenings are no longer filled with wistfulness for what might have been, but with plans and projects for what will be. The once elusive dream of living through my art has become my reality, one brushstroke at a time. And sometimes, when the dusk begins to settle, I find myself wandering back to that quaint park, standing before the statue with the clock face forever marking midnight. I share with it my fears, my hopes, and my gratitude. It remains silent as it always has, but in its stillness, there is a conversation. I no longer see it as a sentinel of what was lost, but as a beacon for what was found. A reminder that every second is indeed an opportunity to tread a new path. As the seasons change and my career as an artist grows, I often think back to that night when magic whispered in my ear. It was not just a turning point, but a rebirth, a moment when time itself seemed to pause, allowing me to step through into a new day. And as I move forward with paint-stained fingers and a heart full of dreams, I know that the best is yet to come. The statue in the park, now a silent guardian of my pivotal choice, remained unchanged, its clock face eternally marking midnight. But for me, that statue and the moment it had created marked the dawn of a new day in my life, a beacon of hope and a reminder that the path to one's dreams is always under construction, waiting for the courage to take the first step. The end.